Hi guys, welcome to my top tracks of 2023. If you want to check out my albums of 2023, you already can. I've already recorded that last week. Loads of good music to talk about, still with the top tracks. Before I get onto this, I want to just give a quick shout out to my merch page. So I'll put the link in the description below if you want to visit my merch page and you can get a cool looking t-shirt like this. You can do that. You can get hats and everything with like really and rock and metal reviews on it. Loads of different options, loads of different designs. Just check out my merch page. Okay, so while I was getting my top tracks together for 2023, and I had lots of them, believe me, I noticed how many of them were not on the albums of my 2023 list. So they were either on EPs or they were standalone singles, or they were basically on albums outside of the top 30 albums that I chose for my top 30 list. So then I got to think, right, should I just do 30 tracks that I absolutely fucking love in 2023, but be separate from the best albums, so I can talk about more music, so I can talk about more bands? And I thought, yes, let's do that. So although this might not be the top 30 tracks of 2023 for me, that would be a difficult task in itself. They are 30 brilliant tracks and amongst the best tracks. So this isn't a 30 to 1, with one being my best. I'm just going to talk about 30 brilliant tracks in 2023. But like I said, you won't hear any bands on here that have already made it to my top 30 albums. So it's cool because I get to talk about, like I said, more music, give those bands who well deserved a shout out for 2023, the best songs. So the first song I'm going to talk about, number one, and remember this isn't a best of list, I'm going from 1 to 30, is Roxanne and Waiting for Laura. This one just gets me every time, man. It's an American rock band. The album's called Stereotypical. Huge classic chorus on this song. The album's great. I can't talk too much about the albums, I'll be here all day. But this song itself is very Foreigner stroke Thin Lizzy sounding to me. It gives me very nostalgic feels throughout this album. Almost, I mean, even the album cover does. It's got that vinyl feel and the vinyl sound as well, not where it's scratching and stuff, but the actual songs sound classic, especially like 70s and 80s. Waiting for Laura is a great track. Number 2, Maruda and Father. This is a Greek metal band. The album is Metal Constructions 7. This is a 9-minute and 10-second epic metal ballad. Just a great song. It gets me every time. It's right on the end of the album. It's the perfect song to put on the end of the album. It's got a huge chorus. I love the singer as well. Tassos Krokodilos is just an amazing vocalist who's getting out there across different projects, mainly his brilliant band Spitfire. Number 3, Matt Hughes, Rock Me Gently. This is an excellent track, and by the way, I'm going to say when I've done a reaction to one of these songs, I would tell you, so this was a reaction. Matt Hughes is a Canadian artist. This is not on an album as of yet. There's no album announced either, so that's why it's making it onto my tracks. This song is just brilliant. It's got a real Dokken feel to it. It's got a Dokken influence for sure, especially in the guitar. Also the vocals as well, but especially on the guitar. It's one brilliant track. Next up, number 4, Texas Hippie Coalition and Hellhounds. This was another reaction from me. American Southern metal band. The Name Lives On is the name of the album this came off. This is the first track on the album. Hellhounds is just brilliant. It's got such a totally addictive chorus that just lifts and it just pulls you in straight away. My number 5 is Amoriello. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's called Electric Metal Man. Also a reaction from me. American musician, metal galloping track. That's how I can describe this. It's not on an album again as of yet. No album announced. a brilliant standalone track that would just get all you metalheads going. Next up, Winger, It All Comes Back Around. Man, I love this track. Another reaction from me. Sorry about that. I've done a few this year. American hard rock band. They need no introduction, obviously. Kip Winger is the expert behind just the mastermind behind this band. I love Winger. This is a 7.5 minute hard rock epic ballad. It's just brilliant. I loved it. I fell in love with this as soon as I heard it. I love it now. Track 7, Age of Reflection and Tears. Swedish AOR melodic rock band, sadly have now split up. I think they're going to be doing their own thing, in other bands or doing other stuff, projects and that. But man, couldn't believe it, because I heard this song and I was just blown away. Did a reaction to this, of course, and an excellent standalone track that will literally be a standalone track because they have split up. It's just pure melodic rock perfection. My number 8, Vermillion Whiskey and Dissonance. This is a band from South Louisiana, and they sound like this from South Louisiana. Swampy southern metal band. This song, man, just gets me every time. I didn't do a reaction. This is a deeper cut, if you like. It's epic, it's heavy, it's quite a slow paced, it's dense feel to it, but it's very, very emotional. Brilliant track. Number 9. White Spirit, The Dice Rolls On. So White Spirit were a 1980s British band, or are a 1980s British band. And this, almost a bit of a cool story behind this. These were recorded, I believe, and someone will correct me if I get this wrong, they're almost lost tapes from the 80s. And then these tapes came about and the recordings were bad, so they got musicians in to record, they got some new vocalists across this album. The album's called Right or Wrong. It features people like Jeff Scott Soto on vocals. This actual song doesn't, but man, this album really, you could tell it was written in the 80s. The nostalgia again just kicks in as soon as you hear all the songs of this album, but The Dice Rolls On is just pure perfection. Just a brilliant song. Next up, Adler and Changes. This come off the 2 album, so it's his second solo album. The Fates Warning Singer. Great progressive metal band, almost in the vein of Queensryche at times, maybe a little bit more progressive than Queensryche for sure. This is an excellent song. It's the closing song on the album. It's 7 minutes and 45 seconds long. It's melodic prog at its best. Although I wouldn't say it's like prog as in over the top prog. It feels proggy, but it's such an epic song. Adler and Changes. Next up, Supremacy and Passing Through. I actually reacted to this song. It's Colombian melodic rock band. This is the first track on the album. I love this. The album's called Influence. It's nearly made it into my top albums as well, this album. It could creep up there, if on another day. I reacted to this song. I would say there is a bit of a slight Queensryche influence to this actual track. Although a lot of the rest of the album is very melodic hard rock, this almost has a more of a metal Queensryche sort of feel to it. Passing Through is brilliant. Next up, number 12, Matt James and Chain Smoking Whiskey. Reaction again for this one. American singer. He sings for the brilliant band Blacktop Mojo. This has a gritty southern feel to it, but it's so catchy. This is one of 4 singles actually he released during last year, or this year, sorry, not in next year yet. And all 4 of them could have made this list. And I just thought, I've got to choose one, and Chain Smoking Whiskey was the most recent one, and it's brilliant. Number 13, Rockin' Engine and Room 185. Canadian thrash band, brought out an EP called Altered by Evil, which this is on. The whole EP has a horror vibe to it. So this one actually is about the film The Shining, and it's brilliant metal. Just thrash, sort of thrash, but almost classic metal as well at the same time. And it's actually the intro at the moment to my video, so you can hear that music at the beginning of every one of my videos is Rockin' Engine. So brilliant track, and it's this one, it's Room 185 actually, it's the riff off of that. So excellent track. Number 14, Thomas Coulson's Transmission, Keys to Reality. So Swedish artist, brought out his debut album, A Brave Horizon, and a brilliant album it was. Most of the album has like a Priest and Maiden feel, but this one has a pure Dokken influence, and it's brilliant. Check out Thomas Colson's Transmission and Keys to Reality. I reacted to that one as well, in case I didn't mention that. Next up, number 15, Sone and Memorial. So this near enough, I was thinking about putting this album in my top albums of the year as well. It was brilliant Swedish prog metal band. It's album number 6, but it's the first time I actually heard them on this album. This is the title track, obviously, so the album's called Memorial. Medium-paced, epic melodic prog, but not too prog. It's so catchy, so epic. Love that track. Number 16, Street Fighter and Queen of the Night. I reacted to this one. The album's called Second Hand Hero. It's like a collaboration of great musicians from other bands all get together to do this sort of mid-80s USA metal sort of band. Queen of the Night is just what I said it is. It's mid-80s galloping metal, almost in the vein of like Crimson Glory or something like that. Street Fighter, Queen of the Night is superb. Next up, number 17, Valentino, Franco and Healing My Wounds. Another reaction. Italian musician, vocalist, guitarist, amazing song. Classic heavy rock track, very melodic, catchy, hooks all over the place, very cool. Number 18, Remedy, Sin for Me. So this made it onto my list because I'm not 100% sure if it's going to be on the new album next year. I think they're sort of playing whether it will be, I'm not sure, but man, I only reacted to this song probably about a couple of weeks ago at the most. Swedish melodic rock band, brought out a brilliant album at the end of last year. And man, hooks, melody, huge stadium rock. Got to check out Sin for Me by Remedy. Number 19, Lightbringer of Sweden and the Caveman. So, Swedish metal band. The album's called The New World Order. It's their second album, came out right at the beginning of the year. So it's had a lot of plays for me. One of the most played songs for me this year. The brilliant Herbie Langens is on vocals. Amazing singer. I love his vocals. And Jonas Andersson on the guitar. It's sort of mainly Jonas's band, I believe, but man, the guitaring and the vocals on this are just fantastic. It's medium-paced metal, this one. Get quite a lot of fast songs in the album, but this one is brilliant medium-paced metal. Number 20, Girish and the Chronicles and Golden Crown. Brilliant Indian metal band, quite well known at the moment, actually. This is from their re-recorded Back on Earth album. And obviously, so this is like an older song, but they've re-recorded it, the guitars and everything. I think the vocals are the same. So a little bit of an older song, but it's re-recorded, so it's made it onto my list. This is actually, it's quite a cool story behind this Golden Crown song. So it's like a football song, I believe. They wrote for the local football team in India. Brilliant 80s metal. Easily my favourite track on the album. Just gets you in those 80s grooves, man. The 21st song on my list, Wigwam and Uppercut Shazam, Norwegian heavy rock band. I love this band. I love Wigwam. A lot of fans on this channel, I believe. Arj Sten Nilsson on the vocals. He's just as powerful as ever. And Trond Holter, one of my favourite guitarists. But Uppercut Shazam is just such a rocking metal track. You got to hear it. Number 22, Robin McCauley, Dead as a Bone. Brilliant Robin McCauley, man. Irish vocalist, of course. Just worked across loads of different projects. Alive is the album this came off of. I think it's his third studio album, but he's brought out 2 in quite quick succession, solo albums. His vocals are just as amazing as ever. Dead as a Bone is a real rocking track. I think it was a single as well. I didn't actually react to it, but I think it was brought out after the album release. What an amazing song. Number 23, Edgeland, The Clown. I did actually react to this one. Brilliant Swedish hard rock stroke metal band. Came out right at the beginning of the year, this one again. Like I said, did a reaction. What a groove-laden, heavy rock track this is. This is a banger, man. As soon as it comes on, the riff is just... It's just excellent. Very catchy. Quite heavy at times, this band, but this one is just pure perfection. Number 24. Overkill and Fever. So American thrash band, classic thrash band from the 80s. They're so consistent, this band. I love them. This is a real groove-laden thrash song from the album Scorched. so heavy, so addictive. It's got, I mean, Fever, it's really weird. It's almost like, remember I don't know if it was an original song by Elvis. You give me fever, when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight, you give me fever. Sorry, I was gone there. I love a bit of Elvis. But this is almost has that sort of groove to it, but a fresh version. It ain't the song Fever, by the way, but it almost has that groove like the Fever song has. It's amazing. Anyway, number 25, Theocracy and Red Sea. I actually reacted to this. I did a reaction with Paul Anderson. We doubled up on a reaction to this. It's 19 minutes of pure epicness off the Mosaic album, of course. It's got everything, this song. It's got so much melody to it. It's proggy, it's thrashy. It's 19 minutes of brilliance. Number 26, Sophie Lloyd and Fall of Man. I reacted to this one. Sophie Lloyd is a female guitarist and songwriter. She brought her album out not so long ago called Imposter Syndrome. This one actually features Matthew Heafy from Trivium, vocalist and guitarist for those guys. A brilliant modern metal track. It's so catchy, some great guitar work. Sophie Lloyd is absolutely amazing. And looking as well, I might say. Yeah, brilliant. Sophie Lloyd, check out the album as well. Number 27, Alone with the Gods, Lost My Way. I reacted to this one, American heavy rock metal band. The album's called Across the Flood. Very 70s and 80s influence, hard rock, and some sort of like modern elements to them as well. This is one brilliant epic song. I love it. Alone with the Gods are a great band. Number 28, Nitrate and Feel the Heat. British band. Nick Hogg is the mastermind behind Nitrate. Feel the Heat is the album as well, so it's the title track I want to talk about. The Martin brothers, ex-Vega, are also in this band now. Man, this song just makes me smile. It's like it reminds me of just a hot Miami night. That's what it sounds like. It's just amazing stuff. It's so catchy. Get in your car, turn it up on a hot summer night. You won't regret it. Number 29, Air Raid in Solitude. So this is a Swedish metal band. It sounded like a traditional sort of almost British band at times, but what a great album this is. And there's a few standout tracks, and this is quality track. This album's called Fatal Encounter if you want to check it out. But man, this song just harks back again. It mid-80s metal. It's just superb. And the last one I want to talk about, my 30th track I want to talk about, is Demons Down and To the Edge of the World. The debut album for this band came out. It's called I Stand. Melodic metal band, classic, very catchy indeed. Members from House of Lords, False Memories and Autograph, and the brilliant James Robledo on vocals. Almost sounds like Yawn or Dio at times. This song, man. Oh, there's a few on this Demons Down album that are just superb. This is probably edges to be my favourite one. To the Edge of the World is superb. So that's it. 30 tracks. And they're all bands that didn't make it into my top 30 albums, but have got some brilliant tracks. And they're not just these tracks either. Some brilliant tracks across these albums or standalone songs. They are just superb. Just proves to you how much great music there was in 2023. So it's really cool that I got to talk about now 60 bands instead of just 30. It's just brilliant. Guys, let me know what your top 30 songs are, your top 10, your top 5. It doesn't matter, just in the comments below. Thanks for joining in with the 2023 best albums as well. Loads of comments below that video. I love listening to what you was listening to, hearing your best albums. It just makes me smile. Keep them coming in this one as well. Thank you very much, guys. See you soon.